The tensions within the Conservative Party are increasing after Prime Minister Rishi Sunak warned more than 100 Conservative MPs could rebel over the post-Brexit Northern Ireland deal. Well, the UK Home Secretary Suella Braverman also joined the rebellion. In the latest, the UK Home Secretary Suella Braverman has urged Sunak not to drop potential powers to unilaterally override the Northern Ireland Protocol. Braverman's call of not abandoning the bill sounds similar to former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's statements. Senior Conservative leaders have questioned the ultimate objective of the deal, as they remain sceptical of the Democratic Union Party's backing. But according to British media, citing sources, the DUP members will not be shown the text of the agreement before it's done, or at least granted a veto on the contents of it. Now, earlier, some reports were published that some ministers could even consider resigning over the latest Brexit deal. Some other former Brexit-backing cabinet ministers, such as Simon Clarke and Jacob Rees-Mogg, also echoed their intervention. Well, earlier Johnson, he warned it would be a great mistake to ditch the deal. Sunak is attempting to strike a deal with the European Union to break the post-Brexit stalemate in Northern Ireland. Earlier, Sunak met with Northern Ireland politicians. Negotiations for the Northern Ireland deal have been ongoing to improve the post-Brexit trading arrangements for the province. Well, the protocol keeps Northern Ireland in the European single market and the customs union, and it stipulates checks on goods moving from the rest of the UK to Northern Ireland. Well, this has caused months of political deadlock. For the last several months, London and Brussels have been negotiating to ease trade arrangements. Now, for more details on this, Alex Isaac is joining us in London. Alex, it's such a difficult one for Rishi Sunak because he needs to please everybody for this to be signed off, right?
Absolutely. It does seem like this is a never-ending debate in the Commons. Today, we understand that Rishi Sunak is meeting with cabinet members from this morning to discuss the next moves. Originally, we were hearing that it was likely we would see some of that document draft potentially tomorrow. However, there has been quite a lot of chatter within the EU about that they want to focus on the anniversary of the war in Ukraine, which is coming up by the end of this week. And they don't really want to be thinking about pushing through changes to the Northern Ireland Protocol ahead of that. So although we thought that maybe we would hear and see some of what was on that agenda and the changes to potentially to that Northern Ireland Protocol, it looks like that may well be pushed back into early next week. But it is likely that no one is going to agree across the board about what exactly should be made of those changes and how we go forward. And Suella Braverman obviously has also thrown her conversation into the pot there. And she is quite known to be keen on Europe and the European Union, and she has been working with them previously on trying to get some of the migrant crossings sorted, and she has been well known to be a Euro positive. So it'd be quite interesting to see how she will adapt to potentially any Northern Ireland Protocol discussion that's happening today in Cabinet. Of course, Boris Johnson isn't there to have those conversations, but he is trying to shake things up himself. There is a lot of conversation as well happening with regards to whether or not he's trying to make his own type of comeback by sticking in any time he wants to try and say, well, I did this, let's continue doing it the way that I did it. Ultimately, Rishi Sunak does want to move forward, and it does need to move forward. This has been months of conversations, and the DUP does also need to be involved, whether or not they will see any kind of draft policy before it goes to the public. Well, that's unknown at this point. And as we say, we don't actually know what's going to be of these changes, but this protocol does need to be put in place, and quickly, if we're going to move forward.
Alex Isaac, thank you very much for explaining that to us. That rather complex situation to do with the Brexit negotiations in Ireland there.